That's 504-556-0809. Dave me at insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Here we go again. You ready to do this thing on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program? Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for doing it. Thanks for joining us. Drew Brees is correct. This is New Orleans. With all our dysfunction and all our problems, still one of the greatest cities in the world, still one of the greatest places to live full time. With a family, without a family, single, married with kids, without kids, just a couple, no couple, whatever. Anybody in any age bracket, retired, young, New Orleans, the metro area, as good a place to live as anywhere in the world. One of the best places to live anywhere in the world, in my opinion. Otherwise, I'd be seeking a better place. If I had to leave, are there other places that are nice places to live? Of course there are. I've got lots of friends that live in lots of nice places. And they still always long for New Orleans. They consider themselves New Orleanians. They love coming back. Had a friend who lives in California. 30 minutes to go to the store, 30 minutes to go get dry cleaning, everything's a 30-minute ride right down the street. So much traffic, so many traffic lights just to go a few blocks. Hey, that's when you get a bicycle. Yeah, okay, then on the bike, it takes 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. In New Orleans, it's 5, 6, 8 minutes in the metro area. You knock those things out quick. It's Friday right now, a little after 4 o'clock. About as bad as it gets right now is like I-10. You're out there listening to the program, Bonneville, Causeway, Clearview. You're heading out towards Kennebra. When will they ever expand the I-10 to Kennebra? Just sort of the expansion stops at Vets, whole other show. That's about as bad as it gets. Veterans around Lakeside right now, about as bad as it gets. Going to the Best Bank, brah, right now, about as bad as it gets. New Orleans East High Rise, about as bad as it gets. Heading out to Laplace via Kenner, Twin Span, about as bad as it gets. I mean, we're pretty lucky. Pretty lucky. Easy to get around. We have culture here, which most cities don't have culture, and most people just dismiss it. I live in a city that's just generic, and it's easy to dismiss it because some of these cities are like, the amount of money I can make is tremendous. The public schools are good. The neighborhoods are safe. They're always upgrading the infrastructure. Crime is manageable or low. Lots of young folks moving in, expanding, growing. So no, it's easy. Culture, toss it out the window. We lack a lot of those things I just mentioned that are like requirements. Requirements for living a good life. Infrastructure, education, low crime, economic opportunity. So no, we struggle with those. We don't have zero. We're not zero. We're just not like these other cities where they're rolling. It's, any profession, jobs available, move to any city, anywhere in America almost, except for just a handful, and a job's available for you. New Orleans is a little different, there's no doubt. But we do have the culture thing, so you kind of balance things out. And I don't know, living just in some generic place, like, no, it's new, it's nice, it's clean. I like it a lot. Everything's works well. It's like Mayberry, USA. There's lots of places like that around America, new places. They're all over the place. Pick a state, pick an area. We've got history and architecture. Buildings that are older than a lot of states. older than some of these cities. No, a lot of history and architecture. We're like a European masterpiece with France and Spain. We're French colony for about 50 years, Spanish colony for about 40, 50 years. About a third of our existence is not part of the United States. So a little different. We're a melting pot, just gumbo of people, just diversity of people. I was talking to somebody today about 110 plus thousand Hondurans, not Latinos, folks from Honduras, second largest population of Hondurans outside of Honduras in the world in New Orleans. Part of our culture, like 1 out of every 12 of us, one out of every dozen, one of those oysters out of the dozen is a Honduran. Just adding more to the gumbo. The Vietnamese community that came in the 70s and has prospered, part of the gumbo. And of course, black, white, Italian, Jewish, German, Irish, post-Katrina, a lot of Latinos from like Mexico, Brazil, Venezuela, Nicaragua, lots of folks coming in from those countries, expanding beyond just Hondurans when we're thinking about Latinos in Metro New Orleans. So Yaddy folks that are in the city, Yaddy folks that have moved out of the city, Chalmette, Metairie, North Shore, the whole Metro. Just incredible. The history, the architecture, the people, the culture. I didn't even bring up the food and the music and festivals and how we celebrate, how we live life. We do. We live life. We embrace it. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Weekend, we embrace that in New Orleans. We're champions of that. I'd say from 5 o'clock Friday to about 8:59 Monday morning, we're the world leaders. We know how to party. But Monday from like 9 to 5, we struggle with that a little bit. But we're hopefully we'll get better. Michael Hecht's going to join us to start the 5 o'clock power hour. Michael Hecht in about 50 minutes. He'll join us live. Maybe he'll have some good economic news. Maybe he'll have some good news for the future of New Orleans, getting it done right. I know this airport expansion's pretty interesting. Airport presently, 35 gates. The brand new terminal, $1.1, $1.2 billion with 3 concourses. They're about to add a 4th concourse, apparently. Michael Hecht will fill us in. We always knew that would eventually happen. Now it seems definitive, trying to get FAA approval and funding, which seems just like a formality. It's not just, hey, let's build it and hope planes come. It's build it because we need it. The growth of the airport, more flights. It will go east. Right now, if you're at the airport, you've got 2 concourses that go straight towards the river, straight towards the old terminal. And then you've got 1 concourse that goes due west. Basically parallels like Vets, I-10 airline goes due west. It's so like 3 prongs. There's a 4th prong, the one going due east, will be built with apparently 15 more gates. 35 gates right now. There'll be 15 more added, 50 total gates. And then it gets even more exciting than that. Another parking garage, and that's not it gets more exciting than that part. They're talking about a 2nd new terminal west of the existing terminal. It may stand alone, and they're talking about 2 concourses at that terminal, so maybe another 20 gates or so, and I guess it would be expandable, and it could be easily connected to the existing airport. The concourse that exists today that goes towards the west, it's basically at the end of that is where the new terminal would be. There's basically this infield of concrete where planes just parked. There are no buildings, just like a big tarmac. So you could just put it right on top of that. It's ready to go. Or if not on top of that, in that spot. So they're talking about a new terminal. We'll talk with Michael Hecht about that. I love transformative projects. That's how you change a city. Obviously, the word says it all. Transformative. The project changes the city. It's like the Superdome. Transform the CBD. Bunch of buildings around it, the Hyatt, all kind of stuff down Poydras. Transformative. The airport, a second terminal, expanding the existing one. Those are all transformative things that can make our city, move forward at a rapid pace. Boy, hot. Pop-up showers, kind of hit and miss variety. You might get it, you might not. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, supposedly no rain, but hot. Monday, Tuesday, kind of more of today and tomorrow with the mystery pop-up showers. I'm Margaret Orr, and that's your weather. John, back to you. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Speaking of Margaret Orr, Channel 6 and Fridays with Fletcher Mackel joining us in a few minutes. Find out what's happening at Saints Camp. Scot Craig from Katie's and Francesca will join us for a few minutes in the 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, thinking about Saints training camp, thinking about Tulane and LSU. There's a major difference between expectations and hope. Expectations and hope. More on that and a lot more next.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Welcome back, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's the weekend. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Eyewear that's as unique as you. You wear prescription glasses like me, or you need a great pair of sunglasses. Don't go waste your money at the mall, some chain store. Don't go online. You don't even know how it looks on your face. Go to Art and Eyes on Magazine. They're open tonight till 7. They're open all day tomorrow. They're open on Sunday. Eyewear that's as unique as you. Some of the finest frames in the world. And what I love about the place, name brands you've never heard of, because the name brands you know aren't the name brands you grew up with. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Eyewear that's as unique as you. I bet this guy gets some kind of cash allotment for clothing because he's on all the time. He can't wear the same outfit all the time. I'm going to try to get some Channel 6 money for Art and Eyes. Fletcher Mackel joins us on the program again. What up, Fletch?
Not a lot, Corey. How are you?
Do you get money for the green suit, for the red suit? Did Channel 6 pay for those suits? I want to know.
They do not. That
wow.
The funny thing is I remember like a time and a place when I started working here, they still used to do, not at our station, but at other stations, they still used to run like a slate or like kind of a pop. It wasn't a full-blown commercial, but it was like Anchor's attire provided by, and like Anchor haircuts provided by. And they still there was a day and time when that was far more prevalent than it is today. So I think a lot of media companies, you can probably negotiate it into your contract, but it's not like a flat, those days passed long ago of, hey, go here for your haircuts, they're free. Or we have a trade out or a partnership with Store X, and this is where you get your clothes.
Now WDSU Channel 6 Sports with Sports Director Fletcher Mackel. Suit provided by Gus Meyer.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, again, and I'm not like going to name names, but it was truly, when I started here in 2002, 23 years ago, that wasn't exactly like 1982 when everybody was doing it. And there were still stations here that were running that, like hair, like such and such Anchor's hair provided, or, like the official partner of, and it was like, what? And so, yeah, so it's, but yes, again, everything kind of is of a time and of a place. And, now, look, the world we live in now, you can buy a suit online for $50. And so I don't think there's anybody telling anyone, go here because we want your hair this way, or you have to shop here because we like this look. It's a, like how you're comfortable and professional, and negotiate it yourself into where you want to shop.
All right, I'm segueing onto another topic because you said the $50 suit. We're going to move on anyway, but
look, I'm going to tell you right now, people laugh at that. My brother found an online site. It's online only, and their suits are like $69.95. And if you get them tailored the right way, since we wear suits a lot, I'm not kidding. Sometimes between newscasts, I'll go out and people will be like, "That's a great suit. What did that thing cost you?" And it's like $69.95, and people like laugh, and it's like, no, I'm not joking. Like it really.
Now, but how long does that suit last? Literally, like a year, like about 10, 12 wears.
That's the thing is how long is it going to last? But like when you got to wear them every day.
And you got to change suits and stay with the style. Yeah, it's not like you're keeping the suit 5 or 10 years. But what I was going to get at, and I guarantee you on those suits that are $69, I will wager you anything you like. And you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but I'm saying it with confidence because I, learned about it from somebody I know in the clothing industry. The sleeves of those suits are glued on to the suit. They're not stitched on with thread. They are literally glued on to the suit, the sleeves.
Yeah.
Like there's those kind of gimmicks for the cheap suits. I heard all kind of stories on how they make a cheap suit. No, but I hear what you're saying. I'm kind of the same way. I'll even mention the retailer. Joe Bank used to just have these slim fit suits for like $199. And I'm like, it's 100% wool. It's not some Italian dude who's 70 stitching it by hand in Italy. I'm sure of that, but it's not like it's a bad suit. And then if you get some, killer tie or a nice shirt, good shoes, and maybe some glasses from Art and Eyes, you're looking pretty good.
So it's funny. I know we're getting off this topic because we're drifting, but I went to go cover in 2019 the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, Joe Burrow, and I was doing a live shot right next to another sports director here in New Orleans, and we were in Times Square. The ceremony was over. We're going live for the 10 o'clock news on Saturday night, and he was even laughing about it because Times Square jam-packed with people 24/7, and I had a suit on, and some guys, they had a little media area for us to broadcast, and some guy was like, look at this sharp guy, and he's like, hey, sharp guy, where'd you get that suit? and I told him 69, and the guy was screaming at me, calling me a liar, because he didn't believe that the suit was that cheap. He thought I was like condescending or mocking him. And I'm like, it really is a $69 suit.
Right.
Just kind of tailored the right way, and that's it.
Sorry, dude, it's not Canali and $3,500. I'm sorry. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, and again, I mean, look, I have nice suits too, but again, when you got to wear a suit and tie every day, I can't go spend that kind of money on every suit. So you gotta mix in, some fake out cheapos, but just find the right fake out cheapos.
Yeah, I've got kind of a mixture too. When I was doing Channel 26, like doing some fill-in anchoring with Susan Rojan back in the News with the Twist days and doing editorials and stuff, I needed some shirts and suits and stuff. But what I was doing before that and what I kind of do now, Fletch, it's funny, if there's like a major wedding or maybe even not so much a funeral because I've got like a black suit, but like a major wedding or so, I might go get a suit, a new tie or something just for that, and then I've got that suit for the next few years, that kind of gimmick.
Yeah.
Anyway, you wouldn't know about it because you got to get stuff all the time because you're an anchor. But anyway, Fletcher Mackel's with us. Yeah, we usually talk sports, but sometimes we go off on all kind of tangents.
Haberdashery today.
What's that?
I said haberdashery in men's clothing today.
Yeah, exactly. It's men's clothing talk on the neutral ground. Tomorrow, Fletch, I've been doing this last few Saturdays, kind of cheat day, whatever, eat a little, kind of off the main path. The Domalice's fried shrimp po' boy is tough to beat.
Oh, Domalice's is tough to beat anything. I mean, it's fantastic. I love Domalice's. I mean, I think it's one of those places. Every time I go, I'm like, God, I should be here more. I don't live uptown. I live in mid city, but whenever I bring people there, or whenever we pop in there, yeah, I mean, I love it. The nostalgia of it too. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's an old joint. I don't get the 12-inch anymore. I just get the 8-inch, 2 pieces, not 3.
Yeah, I still go for the big one on when I drift over. Was it Belcastle, I think is the street it's on?
Yeah, I think that's right.
When I drift over off Chapatulas, I'm going all in. I'm not there to half-ass it, so to say. I'm there to go all in, even if I need to be wheelbarreled out. I ate so much.
I hear you. Now, it's Belcastle, what, Annunciation?
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Was another good place. Clancy's is good on Annunciation and what is
Webster.
that? Webster, and right down the street, the old Norby's.
Patois.
Yeah, Patois.
I remember my dad used to take me to Norby's, and they used to mentioning the wheelbarrow races there. Yep. And but I mean, Patois and Clancy's are just fantastic.
All right, you ready to jump into it?
Yeah. We'll
start the next segment in about 3 minutes with Saints, since there's so much there. So why don't we do it backwards and go with the lesser story that I'm probably not. I don't know what you'd call this. I'm making kind of 2 points with saying it's a lesser story, like it's not the main story, and is it even a real story? I'll just give you the headline and you can take it from there. Bill Simmons says buzz is pointing to the Pelicans leaving New Orleans.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe any of that. Look, I get it. Bill Simmons is a renowned NBA, really historian. Look, he did a book of basketball, and Bill Simmons really does follow the NBA and is attuned to what is happening in the NBA. That being said, that doesn't mean every opinion that he gives is a good opinion or a fact-based opinion. And the one thing about Bill Simmons is he has hated New Orleans for 20 years. He has dumped on New Orleans for hosting Super Bowls. He has dumped on New Orleans as a tourism city. He has dumped on New Orleans since day one as a basketball city. So at some point, that has to be put into the context of, I saw the clip he did. Look, the NBA expansion is not as on the horizon as people thought it was, because the TV deal that the NBA owners just got is a bonanza windfall. The arrow on the league is pointing up with a TV deal like that. So the owners have basically said, why are we going to cut 2 more teams in on this mega money? Sure, we all get a few $100 million in expansion fees, but we're going to have to cut 2 more teams in on the TV deal. Maybe we just slow play this and we don't expand, because the TV deal that we got is on par with the NFL, and we don't want to split that money.
And
so
adding
now,
more teams adding more teams when you already have 30 doesn't make TV go, oh, we'll give you more money. If you're a fledgling league and you're growing, like MLS soccer was, or something like that, you're adding 3-4 more teams. Yeah, you might rework the TV deal because of that.
Yes, but so now the talk is there may be expansion, but it's not going to be on the near horizon. So now there's chatter of, well, Seattle is a great basketball city, and Vegas is booming, and there's other places. So no one has said, I mean, look, Gail Benson has been very firm of, I will own these teams. They will be here till I die. But because somebody like Bill Simmons says, well, they may not be expanding, what about relocation? And he throws New Orleans out because, look, they haven't been good recently. We don't have a big track record of sustained success. I would not believe that. Again, while it's easy, low-hanging fruit for him, it doesn't make one word of it true.
Yeah. Fletcher Mackel's with us. Another edition, Fridays with Fletch. Yeah, when we come back, it's day 3, Fletch, at Saints training camp?
Yep, day 3, 3 quick practices.
All right, we'll find out what's going on with your New Orleans Saints. And also, when we come back, I'll tell you the main difference between expectations and hope. Expectations and hope, and get Fletcher's take on all of that too. Stick around, New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans resorts. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scot Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Fletcher, have you made it to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville yet?
I have not, but I did see Pat Gallagher last year at a function, and we caught up, and it was great talking to him. But I don't have a big reason to get to the North Shore. Nothing against the North Shore, but I didn't grow up there. My parents didn't move there. My dad, knew Morgan Ernest and worked at Chafunkta Country Club back from like 69 to 73 when the North Shore was like going to the moon for people. But in my lifetime, I have just not had a big connection to the North Shore. So nothing against it. I just don't routinely get there.
Well, now you have an excuse. Gallagher's 527. Pick up your lady, get a date, go with some friends, get your brother, whatever, your mom. 25 minutes from Lakeside. It's right behind that Shell station, right when you cross the lake. You'll thank me. It's incredibly good.
Oh, look, you don't have to sell me. Like I said, I love Gallagher, and he's always been good to my family. And I mean, I remember growing up, we'd go over there when Bo Shen was coming onto the scene, and yeah. So again, I have no doubt that it's amazing. I do feel bad that I haven't been yet, but that's my excuse of I don't get over there that often. But maybe I should take your word for it and have a nice leisurely drive 24 miles across the causeway.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's incredible. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Another edition of Fridays with Fletcher Mackel with us. Fletch, I was saying earlier in the program, a major difference between expectations and hope. With Tulane and LSU, there are expectations. With Tulane getting this quarterback out of BYU, LSU and Tulane, the expectations like 10 wins plus, 10 or more wins or bust, that kind of thing. There's an expectation. With the Saints, there's no expectation. It's strictly hope. Do you agree with that assessment on expectation and hope with those three teams as examples?
110%. I would agree with everything you just said. That if for LSU, as Brian Kelly enters year 4, if not now, when? I mean, look, you've put your program in place. You've hired and fired assistant coaches. You've got a quarterback that you believe in and develop that people really are high on that could be a first-round draft pick. LSU needs to be 10-2 this year in the playoff. I'm not saying they got to do what Burrow and that team did 6 years ago in 2019, but they need to be a 10-2 SEC team in the playoff, because if not now, then when? And in Tulane, look, I think
real quick on LSU, real quick, an offensive line needs to emerge, and I don't see them being like 6, much less 7 or 8 deep on the D line yet. So those are two big concerns. Question mark. The offensive line is a unit, and in the SEC to win, you got to go 6 or 8 deep on the D line, and I don't know if they're there yet. But go on.
Yeah, I'll say this. I agree with you more on the offensive line just because last year they graduated 4 guys to the NFL, including Will Campbell, who went 4th or 5th overall to the New England Patriots. So 4 guys from an offensive line last year going to the NFL is a big loss. That, to me, is the biggest question mark. But again, here's the thing. Other programs deal with it year in and year out. Half Georgia's team is playing for the Eagles, it seems like right now, and yet they're just in the playoffs every year. Alabama and Nick Saban lost. I mean, look, nobody produced more high-quality draft picks than Alabama, and every single year he just regrouped and reloaded and made a run. I'm not even saying LSU has to do that every year, but at some point, you got to break through, and this better be the year LSU breaks through. Because again, if not now, then when? And for Tulane, look, I think John Summerall is the best young college coach. Truly, I mean that. Best young up-and-coming college coach in the game. And getting Jake Retzlaff from BYU was, to me, the missing piece to push them to a conference championship. I think they are the best team in the American. I think they're going to win the American. Army's going to take a step back. I think Memphis is going to take a step back with the players they lost. I think Tulane is still the cream of the crop in this league. Here's my take on Tulane, though. They've got 3 Power 4 games. Northwestern to open the season has to be a win. Northwestern went 4-8 last year. And then for Tulane to get into the playoff, even if they win their conference, they play Ole Miss and they play Duke. Ole Miss went 9-3 last year. Duke went 10-2. They've got to get one of those games. Even if they won their conference and still went 10-2, I think the committee's going to leave them out and hold those 2 losses against them and keep them out.
No, I think that's a great point.
Finish 11-1, and they can only lose to either Ole Miss or Duke. That's their path to the playoffs.
Yep, great point. Hey, real quick, did you see that tweet with, I think it was like you, me, and a couple other folks that like were on like the Mount Rushmore of dogging Tulane's football? Did you see that?
No, I missed that. Dogging. I just said that John Summerall may be the best.
Oh, I know. But I'm preliminate with. I'm about to ask you this question, and then you're going to answer it legitimately as a professional, and then some sort of fans that are a little thin-skinned will be like Corey and Fletcher going off on the coach leaving again. Just a simple question. I think it's legit. Will John Summerall make it through 2025 as the Tulane head coach? I could easily see him being the head coach of some SEC or Power 5 team, like before a bowl game, like by December 20th, something like that. Is that crazy to think like that? Is that the better chance of happening, or he's coach a 3rd year?
I think there's a very good chance of that. And here's the thing, though. If his team is in the playoffs, he's not leaving. So he's not leaving the program high and dry if Tulane wins the American, goes 11-1, and gets into the college football playoff. He's just not. And look, here's the thing. A school will probably wait for him if he is in the college football playoff. But this is the thing. John Summerall is a winner. He's smart. He's a great young coach. He knows the portal. He knows recruiting. He won at Troy. He won his first year at Tulane. The reality is, and fans can get upset about this, the reality is it's a compliment when these schools are sniffing around your guy. Look, it was him or Bill Belichick last year for the UNC job.
Yep.
He is a great young coach, and they're going. If Billy Napier gets fired at Florida, they're going to be coming to call on John Summerall. He's a Kentucky graduate. If Mark Stoops gets fired, they're probably running to come call on him this year. So again, every single year, Tulane fans need to brace for the fact that John Summerall may leave, because it inevitably at some point it is going to happen. Now, I hope it happens after they get into the playoffs and maybe pop somebody in the playoffs this year. But whether it be this year or in December of 26 or in December of 27, more than likely, because college sports is out of whack, a big power program will write Tulane a check and come and steal their great young coach.
LSU, Tulane as teams in 2025, their expectations that they're going to win. Saints, it's a hope. Sumrall staying is a hope. The expectation is he'll take a Power 5 job. And I hope I am totally wrong. I want to be wrong like you. I love the guy and love where Tulane's been, where they are, and where they're going. All right, Saints, training camp. What's going on there, coupled with the you can't have an expectation, just hope that they win. For the Saints to win, to get to like 9-10 wins, Fletch, you've got to get Bo Nix type of play out of a single quarterback for the season. And then you're talking maybe just like 8-9 wins. So I think when the over-under in Vegas is like, 5.5, tied with 3 other teams for lowest in the NFL, that they're not messing around. The Saints are probably like a 5-6 win team this year. What do you think?
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you just mentioned Bo Nix, so Sean Payton got that team with a rookie quarterback last year to 10-7. And his defensive coordinator, who is also obviously from, the New Orleans area, Vance Joseph. The Denver Broncos were the 3rd best NFL in the league, and they had the defensive player of the year in Patrick Surtain. So for the Saints to get to 9-10 wins, they would need Tyler Shuck to be one of the top 3 rookies in the league this year, and they would need DeMario and Cam in this defense to find the fountain of youth, so to say. And so, look, the great thing about the NFL is anything can happen. The Washington Commanders last year were coming off a 3-14 year. They drafted Jaden Daniels, and they end up going 10-7 and getting to the NFC Championship game. Jaden Daniels was the runaway rookie of the year. Dan Quinn's a great defensive coordinator. The problem with the Saints is they're very old or they're very young. And that's a hard thing to reconcile. And so I hope when this season ends, I think it's going to end with the Saints having 5, 6, 7 wins. I hope that you at least have some foundation pillars that you say, Tyler Shuck showed us enough. We know he's the dude. Kool-Aid McKinstry is a starting corner for the next half decade. Fuaga and Banks are our tackles for the next decade. Chris Olave is finally the Pro Bowl receiver that we envisioned him being. That you have 3 to 5 foundation pillars, and maybe in year 2 of Kellen Moore, you can build off that 6 or 7 wins.
Fletch, we got about 30 seconds. You just mentioned Shuck a few times, like obvious starter. I would be saying the same thing. But if you're following the last 3 days of training camp, maybe Rattler's the guy. I mean, it's Shuck, right?
I don't know. I mean, look, I think it's going to be Shuck. My opinion is they drafted him 40th overall. He's their guy. And so I'm sticking with Shuck. It's 3 days of practice. We got a long way to go in training camp before a starter is named. I think they're going to continue to play evenly, and that's going to lead them to start Tyler Shuck since he's their guy.
You got 3 guys, they're all like 23, 24. All of them think they can start everybody in their community. Their agents, family, friends, advisors all think they can win that starting position. So they're all hungry. They've all been busting their tail to know the playbook subconsciously. So, no, it's going to be a good battle. That's for sure. Hopefully a viable QB emerges.
Yeah. And look, that's the most important thing to me is don't go 2-15 or 3-14 and have the second pick and be forced to say, well, we've got to take the generational quarterback now because we're really at rock bottom now. Last year,
exactly.
Now we're rock bottom.
No, you might be drafting the LSU quarterback or Arch Manning. There's more hope and expectation stuff. Fletch, always a pleasure. Next week.
All right. Thanks, Corey.
That's Fletcher Mackel coming right back.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scot Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's John Grow, Papa Grows Funk. Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. About 15 minutes away, less than 15 minutes. Michael Hecht, Greater New Orleans Inc. joins us. Some exciting news. A few outlets had the story this week. Airport expansion at Louis Armstrong International. We've got the brand new terminal. We say brand new. The thing's probably like a decade old now. See, when we cut the ribbon on that thing, like 2017, something like that. Got the new airport, new terminal with 3 concourses. They're going to add a 4th concourse to the existing terminal. So we'll go from 35 gates with 3 concourses to a 4th concourse with 15 gates, going from 35 to 50 gates. And then there's talk of another terminal being built to the west of the existing terminal, and another couple of concourses, and maybe another 20 gates or so. So we could be talking 65, 70, 75 gates eventually, and 6 concourses and 2 terminals. Michael Hecht's going to join us from Greater New Orleans Inc. We'll talk about that and a lot of stuff. Amazon's finally opening up that Slidell facility. The Music Museum might be gaining momentum to be built in the River District. So long overdue. They were talking about that old whale lot by the Hilton. It was going to be like an Emmy museum because it's appropriate. Like Cleveland can have the Rock and Roll Museum. Rock and Roll Museum wouldn't be right in New Orleans because we're a lot more than that one genre. We want all music genres because we either created them entirely partially or had some influence on them at the very least. Every modern music genre. So yeah, this Music Hall of Fame, this music museum should be in New Orleans. It should be like the World War II museum, like Smithsonian quality, that type of a tourist draw, because we're the modern music capital of the world. There's no other city. It's New Orleans, Louisiana. Maybe it was, hundreds and hundreds of years ago somewhere in Germany, in Austria. But, in this century, last century, modern times, New Orleans, modern music, we're the music capital of the world. So we'll talk about that music museum getting some traction. And the NOLA Coalition at a press conference, I think they're 3 years in now. The NOLA Coalition, 3 years old. The mayor's race, the renderings of the city park, the master plan, like $400 million. $400 million. We'll visit with Michael Hecht, Greater New Orleans Saint, in about 12 minutes. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour still coming your way. Saints training camp day 3. We visited with Fletcher Mackel. Yeah, I was talking about expectations and hope. There are expectations with LSU and Tulane. LSU and Tulane fans expect these teams to be good. Expect these teams to, for Tulane, it's like you're really expected to win the championship. For LSU, you're hoping they can win the championship, but the expectation of them getting there or winning it isn't unrealistic. The Saints, playoffs and winning seasons, kind of unrealistic. It's like the 1 in 20. That's 5%. That might be a little strong. It might be like 1 in 30. It's an outlier. There's a chance. You hope it could all fall into place and happen. Great play out of the quarterback. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan turning back the clock. Young players turning up the clock and performing like they've been in the league for years. Starting like 4 or 5 draft picks and those guys performing. No, like, it's not impossible, but those things happen. And yeah, the Saints could win 9 or 10 games. I mean, when Vegas has them, they're like 4.5, 5.5. The over-under, something like that. I don't know if it's 4.5 or 5.5. I forget. And there's 17 games now, not 16. They're tied with 3 other teams for worst record projected, worst over-under in Vegas. There's a lot of money involved in this. They're not doing it for poops and giggles. They're not doing it for fun. There's money on the line. So the Saints are like a 5-6 win team. But if some things happen, and every year a team that's supposed to win 5 or 6 games wins 10, maybe the Saints will be that team. But there's a bunch of other ones, the majority of them, that don't. They win 5 or 6. So with Saints, you're hoping they win. You're hoping all these things happen. With LSU, you're expecting 10 wins or more. With Tulane, you're expecting 10 wins or more. No, it's expectations versus hope. And at least 2 out of 3 for Tulane and LSU. You can go into this football season in a few weeks with expectations that you've got good teams. That's fun. And with the Saints, at least there's some hope. It's a new coach, new quarterback. Maybe you got a reinvigorated, Alvin Kamara. Like I said, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, maybe they play like their younger days. I don't know. Rookies play a lot quicker to form than being rookies, on. And that hope turns into like a winning record. But I think realistically, and I don't hold me to these, but Tulane and LSU are probably like, I'd probably pick them somewhere around 10-2, something like that. Both those teams, like same record, like 10-2. Hopefully they do better. Hopefully one or both of those teams. Wouldn't you love LSU and Tulane making the college 12-team playoff, both LSU and Tulane? That would be incredible. Like one of the greatest sports stories in the history of the area. It'd be unbelievable. There's a possibility of that. It's a hope, not an expectation. So probably 10-2 for those two teams. Saints, 4-5 just seems sort of low. Kellen Moore seems like he knows what he's doing. I don't know, maybe like 6-11, something like that. Something like that. Hard to pick them like 7 or 8 wins. But I'm hoping. Fantasy Friday continues. 5 o'clock power hours next. Boy, sometimes I get some good guests on the program, but this is one of the best guests. Mr. Blue Boy, one of the finest guests in radio television history. He always has something to say, and he's right on the money. What, buddy? It's Friday. You don't mind the pop-up showers because it's so hot. It kind of cools things down for you. Good point. Because they're pop-up showers, folks shouldn't cancel plans for the weekend. It'll probably be a great weekend. Get out and enjoy it. Blue Boy, you're so wise and smart. And you're following the Doppler. Coming
on
right
the
back.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Okay, buddy.
Also on YouTube, on radio at
Down,
Nola
Blue
Talk,
Boy,
93.9 FM, WSLA
Good
New
boy.
Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseBars.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Fan supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scot Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Wow, struggling with the packaging that this water came in. Packaging, my God, what a waste, huh? Just throwing all that stuff away. I swear I'm not trying to discriminate at all because it's tough for me. I don't understand how folks like 70, 80, 90, 100, I'm going to have to ask my mom who's 94. She's probably going to be like, yes, packaging is a nightmare. I don't know how folks open some things. I almost need like a saw, like an industrial scissors or something to cut through it. These things that are like sealed in plastic, like the thick plastic on either side, sort of melted together and the products in the inside. There's no like instructions on how to get to that. There's no grabbing it and sticking a finger in a crack and pulling it apart. You need like an industrial scissors to open that. Now I'm sitting there bent over trying to get this water out of the packaging. My God. Corey Johnson with your Fantasy Friday. For the next hour, we're talking about packaging. No, we're not. Hey, coming up in a few minutes, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. is going to join us right around 5:18 or so, 5:19, in about 10 minutes or so. From Greater New Orleans Inc., talk about the new airport expansion. I should say, talk about the new airport, and its potential expansion, talking about adding a fourth concourse. There are already 3 with 35 gates. They'll add a fourth concourse, 15 more gates, 50 total gates. And then they're talking about building another terminal west of the existing terminal with a couple of more concourses and maybe another 20, 25, 30 gates. The airport might have 65, 70, 75, 80 gates when it's all said and done, and 2 terminals. And then still, what do you do at the airport on the south side? And that concourse D of the old airport, we poured about $350, $400 million in that about 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's still climate controlled. It's still being taken care of. It's not being neglected. Vagrants aren't in there lighting fires. So that part could be, with just a few $1,000,000, could easily be retrofitted for like an airline, some charter service. I don't know what you could do with it, but it's nice. It's newish. It's fairly state of the art. There's a bunch of facilities around the country right now. Our abandoned concourse D at the old airport's nicer than a lot of concourses in existing airports today that are being used. So I don't know. There's a lot of potential for growth at Louis Armstrong International, which is amazing because it sits on like 1,800 acres. Very, very small footprint. I think Louis Armstrong sits on like 1,800 acres, and I want to say Denver International sits on 50,000, something like that. Denver International Airport sits on 50,000 acres, and Louis Armstrong sits on like 1,800. So, yeah, got to take advantage of every single inch. Michael Hecht, just a few minutes away from Greater New Orleans Inc. We'll talk about that. Slidell, that Amazon facility's coming to life. We'll find out what that's all about. The Music Museum, they had an article in the Times Pick on that. Might be getting that thing going. It'll be at the River District, right next to the new Shell building, deep water headquarters for Shell, and that's under construction already. They're building that as we speak. So the River District, slow but a go. At least it's getting done. The NOLA Coalition, I think, is 3 years old. We'll talk to Michael Hecht about that and what initiatives have been achieved, what the new goals are. All kind of good stuff coming your way with Michael Hecht. A hot day, a hot evening, a hot tomorrow. Sunday is going to be really hot. The only difference, Sunday should be hot and dry. Today, tomorrow, kind of pop-up showers, kind of this hit and miss variety. You don't know if you're going to get them or not. You could go to one part of town and there's puddles in the street. You go to another part of town and there's been absolutely no rain, and they're 5 or 10 minutes apart. So today, tonight, tomorrow, more of this pop-up showers, a front rolling in, not a front, but clouds rolling in with rain, disappear, come in, thunder shower, gone. Hits one area, misses another. Today, tonight, tomorrow. Sunday, supposed to be dry, but heat advisory. Lots of agua, H2O, water. And then Monday, Tuesday, sort of a rinse and repeat of today and tomorrow. Pop-up shower gimmick. But hot the entire time. When the sun's out, it's like, feels like north of 100. Stay hydrated. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It is a little bit after 5 o'clock. Toot, toot. We're blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. We blow the 5 o'clock whistle. We recognize this very moment of the week, a little after 5 p.m. on a Friday. The work week's in the books. Hooray. The weekend smack dab in front of us. Yeah, you right. That's Friday after 5 o'clock. It's time for the Friday cool down. Bust up a 40, everyone. The 5 o'clock whistle appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now, as New Orleans as it gets? I was visiting with a buddy, and he's got a couple of his friends that came in from San Francisco, from Oakland. Their stepmother passed away. And they're handling the service, the funeral, all that stuff. After tomorrow's service and funeral, you know where they're going? I mean, I just met the guy. My friend's friend. So I kind of just met him, and they're like, we're going to Katie's. I'm like, wow, yeah, in Mid-City. That's where they'll be tomorrow. So if you pop in there, give them your condolences if you see the crew from the San Francisco, Oakland area with Louisiana ties, obviously. As New Orleans as it gets, that's why they're going to Katie's. They know. A Mid-City mainstay. Scot Craig will join us in about 30 minutes on the program for a few minutes, just to find out if he's got flounder, speckled trout, soft shell crabs, those ribs that he makes, the smoked ribs that they flash fry. Katie's in Mid-City. 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, Scot Craig about 30 minutes away. Michael Hecht about 5 minutes away. Saints training camp day 3. Visited with Fletcher Mackel last hour talking about hope and expectations. You're hoping the Saints are going to be good. I don't think anyone has any realistic expectations unless your expectations are like 5 or 6 wins. But as far as like a winning team, winning record, trying to slip into the playoffs, that's all hope. No one can have realistic expectations of that. There's too much rebuilding. There's too far to go from a team that's not been very good the last few years. And Fletcher Mackel said it really well. They're either way too old or they're way too young. So no, the young players have to play. I mean, the old players have to play like they're young, and the young players have to play like they're experienced. So with the Saints, it's hope. With Tulane and LSU, it's expectations. It's past hope. It's expectations. Brian Kelly says, best team I've had, most complete team, like compares to like one of my complete Notre Dame teams that we played for the national championship. So he's sort of insinuating potential to be a championship team. You hope for that, but the expectation is like 10 or 11 wins. The expectation is 10 wins. I'm sure for some LSU fans, and you could say the expectations are at least partially realistic. They're expecting a playoff team to make the 12-team playoff. Tulane expecting to win the conference championship now with this QB kind of being the last piece to the puzzle and the most important one. Expected to win 10 or more games. And I'm sure with some Green Wave fans, maybe there's a expectation to make the college football playoffs. For Tulane and LSU making the playoffs, I mean, I think you can have expectation, but there's got to be a lot of hope. But the 10-plus wins for each team, I think that's an expectation that's very realistic. And with the Saints, it's more of hope. You hope a lot of things fall into place, and then maybe they can get to like 9 or 10 wins. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, this rain, these pop-up showers, I don't sweat it because I got Audubon gutters featuring the Leaf Guard system. Get it and forget it. I'll never pay someone to get on a ladder and clean my gutters ever again. There'll never be plants growing in my gutters or dirt piled up in my gutters, corroding them, or the soffit of my house. No, I got Audubon gutters back in October. Drew and his crew, they did it in just a few hours. And yeah, gutters featuring the Leaf Guard system. Why would you even consider anyone else for your home or business when it comes to gutters? New Orleans owned Audubon gutters for nearly 35 years. All they do are gutters. They don't do paint or roofs or siding or windows or any construction. But if you need gutters for your home or business, the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company is your gutter installation company, New Orleans Gutter Installation Company. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. I talk from experience. Very happy with my Audubon gutters on my house. 5 o'clock powwow, a Fantasy Friday. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. joins us next.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scot Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Boy, stay hydrated out there. It's hot. Even with these pop-up showers, don't be fooled. I mean, that just makes the feels like temperature go from like $110 to like 95. Stay hydrated. Michael Hecht joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. again. What's up, Miguel?
What's up, KJ? Happy Friday.
Yep, happy Friday. This segment, by the way, always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant over there in Elmwood, also on the North Shore. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. You know, Michael, all this company does is hire. They've been on like a hiring spree for like 30 plus years because all this company does is grow worldwide. It's pretty amazing, this New Orleans born, bred based company.
It's true. You know, whenever somebody comes in to my desk and they're trying to come back home or they're trying to get a job out of college and they're very smart, I say, you need to talk to Latrim. Just trust me. Just trust me. Just don't even look at their web. Just trust me, because they just hire smart, creative people.
Yeah, no, they're like a world leader. There's no doubt. You ready to jump in it, Michael?
Let's do it, man. Let's do a Fantasy Friday lightning round, extending lightning shower.
I like it.
Knowledge and insight.
I like it. All right. Louis Armstrong International. How old's the new term? When I say new term, what's like from like 2017 or something?
Yeah, 2017. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so less than 10 years old. 35 gates, 3 concourses, 2 that go straight off the main terminal towards the river, towards the old terminal. And then there's one that goes due west. And then there's room for one that would go due east off the other side to kind of complete the picture. They're talking about adding that 4th concourse and 15 more gates, increasing capacity from 30 to 50 gates, Michael.
Well, that's right. This is great news. Fact is, we kind of always knew and even hoped that it would come to this. It's happening sooner, frankly, than we even thought, which is, it's a great testament to the airport, to what's happening with air travel. There were a lot of criticisms of the airport, not criticisms, but whinging, particularly about the road, which frankly was not the airport's, quote, fault. It was a different set of owners. But the only one that I kind of knew in the back of my mind, which I never really said anything about, was that it was probably too small. But that's okay. Nice problem to have. And now we can add on to it and continue to grow and, hopefully remain the best mid-size airport in the country.
The airport access road, look, there's no way around it. You open an airport and you don't have the access road built. It's just not kind of right. But also, and you could go, boy, that's Louisiana. But also, Michael, I think if the airport access road was included originally, they might have nixed the whole thing because it was already a stretched budget, and you're going to throw another $100 million. And back then it was a $600 million airport that doubled in price. So kind of doing the airport access road, I know after the fact isn't the way to do it, but maybe it was the only way it gets done in New Orleans.
I agree with you completely. I think that politically it was the way to get it done, because had there not been one, it would have ballooned the price, and 2, had there not been an airport, there wouldn't be pressure to build the road. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that there was actually a different way to do this, most likely.
Now, what's this talk of a second terminal? I mean, when would that go down? Is that definitive? Is that fantasy? Is that, dream stuff? The fourth concourse to the existing terminal seems like a natural. You've got more flights, more growth. That's where you go. Now they're talking about a little west of the existing terminal, almost like the end of that west concourse. There's sort of a big slab of concrete, sort of like just where they park a bunch of planes, with no buildings on it, sort of just big old slab.
I think where that goes, Corey.
What's that?
That's where I think that goes, out there to the west. I've seen the drawings. So no, this is not fantasy. This is, I've always thought, just a question of when, not if. So but it's exciting. It's happening so fast. So yeah, you're going to get that, and I think you're going to continue to see airlines like Breeze expand there.
So that would be like maybe 2 more concourses, maybe another 20, 30 gates with this new terminal potentially.
Yeah, so you're talking about getting well over 50 gates. I mean, it becomes it's substantial. And then they're doing other improvements, like a new road inside the fence.
Yeah.
You don't have to take that janky trip outside. That'll help a lot.
Yep.
There's some talk about doing a train at some point. I don't know if that'll happen. Nice if it does. I'm not entirely sure if the juice is worth the squeeze on a train. A train is nice. It's contemporary, but having the road inside the fence to make it faster seems much, like the quick and easy, mostly solution there.
That's the way to get to the rental car facility.
Exactly.
When do you anticipate, like, they break ground and start on the fourth concourse at the existing terminal?
I don't know. I have to ask Kevin that. I don't know what the timing is on that, but I don't think that, my sense is that it's imminent. Like, this is not a future planning thing. This is like a next step kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the process goes forward from here. And, they could be turning dirt as early as 2027. I wouldn't be shocked by that.
And what about
years after the first one?
What about the second terminal?
Maybe that comes, later, because if you're going to get 15 more gates, unless from a funding standpoint you do it all at once, I don't know the particulars of that. So I would be even less responsible than usual to, project about that.
I think it's fantastic.
It's pretty irresponsible.
I think it's fantastic news. Hey, like 350, 400 million poured into Concourse D at the old terminal, which is still climate controlled and being kept up. I think it's even used occasionally for some planes coming and going. That thing's pretty state of the art all by itself. Like, I'd say that Concourse D.
I don't know if the plan is to do cargo there or to make it. I mean, I always thought it could be interesting for an airline just to own that, like make that the Southwest terminal. But Concourse D is perfectly usable.
No, it's nicer than a lot of airports' existing concourses.
That's right. Yeah, it was built in the 90s. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I think after that, early 2000s, I thought.
Okay, yeah. Pre-Katrina, though, I believe. But yeah,
I think right before Katrina for that Super Bowl, but it was like $350 million, $400 million. So it wasn't chump change. Hey, Michael, the Amazon facility in Slidell's coming to life.
Yeah, that's coming to life. They're starting to hire for that, so that's exciting. And with the terminal and St. Bernard project going forward, you're just going to see more and more of these warehouse and distribution facilities in the South Shore, New Orleans East, the North Shore. St. Tammany's going to benefit a lot. I think people are going to be surprised at how much activity comes off of the port. If Mobile is any indication, and I think it is, and it's not just stuff that's right by the port. You've got an Amazon facility in Montgomery, which is like 150 miles away.
Yeah.
So you're going to see stuff within, over 100-mile radius of St. Bernard all benefit.
The River District is coming to life slowly but surely, thank God. The Shell building is under construction. Now there's talk that this music museum, this Hall of Fame, could get started as well, right across the street, essentially, at the River District, right by the Shell building.
You can kind of sense how the River District is going to go forward. There are going to be birthing pains, but everybody thinks it's a important idea. The Shell building is happening. It can't be there in isolation. The Music Museum, actually, the leadership behind it is credible. So I think it is going to happen. There are going to be twists and turns in politics and money issues, but I just, my instinct is that thing gets done in the same way that I had the sense that they were going to work things out with charity, and they did. So yeah, I think that's going to go forward, and it's one of the most exciting new neighborhoods in America, in my opinion.
Boy, the renderings of the $400 million City Park Master Plan were beautiful.
Man, yeah, City Park just keeps getting better and better. It is. I mean, talk about something before and after Katrina. City Park was fine before Katrina. It was fun, good childhood memories. Now it's becoming world class.
I think it is. I think Audubon Park and City Park are as nice as any parks anywhere.
I agree. Audubon Park, yeah, always was. And City Park, I mean, that sculpture garden is truly one of the nicest in the world in terms of the quality and the setting.
Hey, Michael, got an election for mayor in like 80 days or so, a new mayor in January. We know the major topics, economy, infrastructure, crime, I'm trying to think of the major four: economy, infrastructure, crime, and education. What are some of the ones that are like unique to us? Like I'm thinking like retention ponds and water features, cleaning up the city finally, like making the city clean and not accepting, a dirty city, things like that.
I think, Corey, that whoever is mayor just needs to say we're going to have 2 years of Super Bowl level prep, and we're going to do what we did for downtown, for the whole city. You could do that in 2 years, no problem. And you'd have a city that combined with not messing with things like the IV waste contract, and you would have something that we could all be very proud of.
Yeah.
It's purely a question of political will and just showing up.
Yep. Hey, 20, 30 seconds, Michael. NOLA Coalition, 3 years old, right?
3 years old. 3 years ago, we were murder capital of the country, being terrorized by carjackings. It was a really desperate state of affairs. This year, we're going to have the safest, least deadly year on record since the early 70s. Literally hundreds of lives saved. Murder rate down 70%, carjacking rate down 80%. It's a far better outcome than we ever could have imagined. And so there's a ton of credit that goes to a lot of people, both in the NOLA Coalition, NOPD, LSP, DA, faith-based groups. I mean, it was a team effort, and we did it. I mean, we did it faster even than what I saw in New York City in the 90s.
Yeah.
And now we just have to sustain it. And by the way, please stop saying we're just following national trends.
No, we're
exceeding
them.
We're 2 or 3 times faster.
Yeah, we're exceeding them. Michael Hecht, have a great weekend.
You too, KJ. Stay cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scot Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Scot Craig's with us from Katie's. What up, Scott?
Well, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm good. I just actually boiled like 3 eggs that I thought I'd have no problem with, but I forgot what time I put them in. So I just guessed by looking at them, and it's like the best egg I've ever boiled in my life.
Wow. That was lucky.
Fell right off.
That was lucky.
Yes, it was very lucky, actually. But, you can tell by feeling the egg whether it's ready or not. So, years of doing it, man.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say experience. What's going on over at Katie's tonight? What specialties you got for us? I love when you got 13 flounder or 15 soft shell crab or 19 speckled trout fillets. I like when you come up with the specific numbers because when they're gone, but I'm just glad you got them.
Well, you know what? I was really disappointed last week because we had like 14 flounders. And we didn't sell them all. And we had them left on Monday. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? But I was really surprised. But we're really slow Friday. Friday night's a good night to come. And I'm telling you, peeps, you better get in on the half-price appetizers during the week. It's that's going over really, really well.
What's that all about?
We do half-price appetizers for happy hour, and it's really taken off. We just started it too, man. It's amazing how you just do simple things and you don't really realize until you do it that people are paying attention to that kind of stuff, But tonight we're doing a double cut pork chop with potatoes au gratin and veggie. We have shrimp and eggplant dressing stuffed inside of a fried eggplant shell topped with catfish and seafood cream. We do the seafood stuff, redfish tonight, and the Thai chili ribs.
What's the
Today
Thai?
for lunch,
Tell us about the Thai chili ribs. What's that's all about? Like
well,
from
it's
start to
flash
finish.
fried. It's flash fried. We did. I just dust them in flour, flash fry them, and we make our own Thai.
Yeah, but it's not just some rib out. You dusted it. Tell us how it starts.
No, it's our ribs. It's our smoked ribs.
Exactly. How long have they been smoked? For hours, and then you're dusting them and flash frying.
Yeah, we smoke them for about 6 hours.
I was gonna say it's not like right out the package. You season them up, dust them, and fry them, and in 7 minutes the ribs are ready to eat.
No, and they're delicious, man. We do that, and we make a chili soy sauce. It's a sweet chili soy sauce, and I use agave nectar in it. It's really, really good. We're doing that as an appetizer. Today, we did a sandwich that we came up with. A friend of mine who loves our Cuban sandwich, and she used to work at Katie. She goes, Scott, my friend Katie Brockovich, she works at Ralph's on the Park now. She says, Scott, I used to do the Cuban sandwich, and instead of ham, instead of couchon de lait, I'd put hot sausage patties on it. And so that my mind just went. So sure enough, we made one with hot sausage, bacon, couchon de lait, and ham, pressed on French bread, and it gets really, really good.
Wow.
But it was just over the top, and we named it the pig. So that went really well.
Nice.
We did that today.
Nice.
And we'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow for brunch, we're doing apple pie French toast and bread pudding pancakes along with all of our other egg specials.
What's the French toast?
It's what did I say?
Apple
bread
pie?
pudding. It's bread pudding pancakes and apple pie French toast with candied walnuts and bacon.
Oof.
That can't go wrong, huh?
No, how can you screw that up?
Right.
Sounds fantastic. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now, as New Orleans as it gets?
Yeah, my cat's not happy right now, as you hear, because we've locked her out of the bedroom. Can you hear that in the background, guys?
What's going on?
Coco Bell, you can't hear my cat whining in the background because
No.
we locked her out of the bedroom.
No, I like that though.
She's so spoiled.
You might get Blue Boy barking if we hear a cat.
You know, just like you, we spoil our animals.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
Why have them if you're not going to spoil them? You know.
And she's moaning about not being able to get in the bedroom and lay in bed. I'm like, God, give me a break, cat.
Yeah. I just pay the mortgage on their house, dude. Live there with them.
Yeah.
That's it.
I pay the mortgage on their house too.
Yep.
Agador Spartacus and Coco Bell.
Wow.
They're both great.
What great names.
Yeah, Agador Spartacus from the movie Birdcage.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, sure.
Hank Azaria.
Yep.
My favorite comedy of all time. That's Hank Azaria. What a great character that was.
What a great actor he is. He was.
Oh, he's the best.
He had a great role as like an FBI agent in this Ray Donovan series. He was fantastic in it.
Yeah. I mean, he plays so many incredible parts. Just an incredible actor.
And you'd never think it. That dude's like ripped.
Oh yeah, man.
Like ripped. He's like bodybuilder
Totally
uptight.
ripped.
You think he's just a regular looking dude, like his head, you know?
He's totally ripped.
Yep. Anyway, Scot Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli over at Lakeview. What's happening out there on Seafood Night?
Yeah, it's Seafood Night, and Chad's been doing some really fun little specials. He did an eggplant Parmesan sandwich this week.
Wow.
We did smothered pork chops this week, and we cut our own chops. It's not the little cheap pork chops. And I know Chad's doing a really good job with the food, man. And honestly, we've had a pretty good week there too. Well, if it's got anything to do with tails, I can't really tell. But I know there's a lot of folks in town for Tales of the Cocktail.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
No, especially in the summer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been, last week was the worst week we've had since January. But this week it's just been a little different. It's been, a little bit busier. It's just fun.
Next week, Scott, you get that NFL Hall of Fame game, almost Hall of Shame game. But the point is
next week?
It's next week. So the Hall of Fame game is that preseason game. So starting next week, we'll have football all the way through February. So for the next 7 months, so that coupled with fall, back to school, all that, things are about to take off. This is like one of the slowest summers I ever remember in being in New Orleans. This summer in New Orleans reminds me of when I was in college and staying over the summer, and just how, things just shut down. It's very slow right now. And I don't think just in New Orleans, in a lot of places.
Yeah. I wonder what it is, Corey, because it's way slower than it's ever been. And last summer was bad enough. But, if we could just avoid any of the H words, maybe we can get through this summer. But it's just been, we're working really hard on social media and, radio, your show. I mean, it's important right now. I mean, I'm even doing it at the deli now. So, we've got worked out something with Caroline Barone to help me at the deli, for free. She's trying to help me out. So, I don't know. We'll get through it, man.
Yep.
I don't know what the reason for it being so slow this summer. I don't know whether it's the national temperature, political temperature. I don't know.
No, exactly. But I think we're about to get out of it. That's at least what I think. We're heading to fall in football and different, whole mentality. In a few months, once we get to early October, we'll be out of this heat and humidity too, and things will take off like a rocket ship. That is just nonstop. It's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Sugar Bowl, Bayou Classic. And then it's, you fade right into Mardi Gras, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest gimmicks. So everything's going to be good. Hey, I was talking about hope and expectations. I think with Tulane and LSU, you have expectations of 10 wins maybe. With the Saints, you have hope, not expectations. What do you think?
I kind of talked about it earlier. There's hope. They're young. I think they're going to be fun. I think they'll be interesting because you're going to see them all really, really hustle. They're trying to be NFL players, and I just think they're going to be exciting. I just think that they're a little short in the tooth.
Yep.
Or is it long in the tooth?
No, they're long in the tooth with old players, and they're short in the tooth with rookies and players that need to develop. But no, Scott, I remember Mora's first team, they went 7-9. But they were in it in the fourth quarter. They just ran out of players. They ran out of gas, but they were competitive. It was a real football team, even at 7-9. So I think if Kellen Moore does something like that, they go 7-10, and they're in games in the fourth quarter, and they're showing improvement. I think that would be good enough for most fans, just seeing that positive movement.
Oh, if they go 7-10, that will be a major accomplishment.
Yep, I agree.
In my opinion.
No, I think you're right.
They're just young.
Yep. And you don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Exactly. They're young and they're old. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, all of that.
From what I'm hearing at camp, Rattler is really, really showing
up. And we're 3 days in, so just ignore all that. Ignore all that. Hey, Scott, hang on a sec, all right?
Yeah.
We're coming right back. New Orleans. Scot Craig's with us from
For
Katie's.
game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scot Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance, keep you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Talking with Scot Craig from Katie's and Francesca Deli out in Lakeview. Yeah, Scott, I think you got to get a quarterback playing like Bo Nix did at Denver. You got to get the guys you mentioned long in the tooth like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan playing like their younger days, like going out final season in style. I was going to say Tyrann Mathieu, but he retired this week. And then you got to get, you've got to get, I think just the young guys playing like they're experienced players, like playing like year 2, 3, or 4 when they're rookies. And finally, like the draft, you're going to have to start like 4 or 5 of those guys. All of that works out, you might win 7, 8 games.
Well, I do see secondary will probably have to start a rookie if Howden doesn't do well.
Oh, you want to start that? You want to start the rookie you just drafted,
and Stutzman should start.
You want to start the Oklahoma linebacker. You better start him,
right? And you're going to get something out of Neal, the running back, and you definitely will start Banks.
Yeah, the offensive lineman starting, the
yeah.
D tackle it'd be ideal if the D tackle starts.
Right. So, and he's going to have to, and he will. He will. He's that good.
And yeah, you don't want to just the tackle's going to be good. You don't have to worry about that. You know, even if the tackle struggles, you know that's where they belong. It would be years before you go, a bust or something. But these other players are more question mark. They have to really perform at an NFL level. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I feel really good about the offensive line, and they will be running the ball probably 65% of the time.
Yeah, Kamara.
They're going to be running, and Moore's a big play action coach. So they'll be running the ball a lot. They'll be running play action. So that will give them an opportunity. As long as they're not, run, try to pass on third down. I mean, you just can't do that in the league anymore.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they've got some talent at running back. They have, very limited tight end talent. And the receivers are, Olave's one hit, done. Pittman's probably going to make the team. Cooks, obviously, but they're all small. I'm really concerned about that. Because you need some sort of relief for these quarterbacks, whether it be Rattler or Shuck. And they need to be mobile. Moore likes to have a mobile quarterback. It's just going to be fun. We have no idea what to expect.
No, it's I said, there's hope. Hopefully they play well. There's expectations with Tulane and LSU. Hey, if you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge and you need air conditioning help, Total Maintenance is there for you. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys, incapable of screwing you around. They'll never do a service, repair, or replacement that is not absolutely necessary. They come immediately because it's summertime. It's July in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. It's hot in South Louisiana. They come right away. Weekday, weekend, overnight, holiday, they're there anytime you need them. And they're air conditioning experts. They're not guessing how to diagnose it. They diagnose it right the first time. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, they've got a sterling reputation for 40 years. Total Maintenance. You need AC help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge? Think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. TM-AC.com. Scott, why should folks head into Katie's tonight for dinner? It's New Orleans. A lot of folks are going right now. It's right now. Listening to the show, watching the show, going, where are we going for dinner tonight, honey?
Because if you want a piece of meat, we've got a beautiful double-cut pork chop. And if you like fish, we get fresh red fish every day. If you like fried seafood, the great Tom Fitzmaurice always said we had the best fried seafood in New Orleans, and we do. If you want to come and just get some seafood here or at the deli, come do it, man. If you on the way home you want to pick something up, go by the deli, easy peasy. I'm really, really happy with our food right now. I mean, it's really, really good. I had one of my best friends. His wife had his birthday party here last night, and we had it upstairs in the middle room. And it's the first time I've ever been able to sit in this restaurant, relax, and eat with no one stopping to talk to me.
Wow.
Because we were just with friends upstairs.
Wow.
And it was the neatest thing. And I got to really, really, really dissect what was going on last night.
Wow.
And I found some imperfections. I mean, nobody else would see it, but I found some imperfections. And that's what I like to do because I can fix it. And it just, like not enough butter on the red fish roll. Nothing huge. Like small stuff. Too much sauce in the pasta dishes. They tend to overdo it with the Alfredo sauce a little bit. So I don't want the pasta swimming in sauce. It's just little things like that. And not all of them look like that. It was just my wife's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they just overdid the sauce. So, but they're doing a great job. The service was incredible. I just noticed some things, and that's the way to pick your restaurant. It's hard to do when you're just watching other people's.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do. But when you actually sit down and see things that aren't right, aren't exactly what I want.
Yeah, no, that's a great perspective.
It was a great perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and like with large parties, we set up a table along the wall in the middle room upstairs, and that the table was too close to the wall. If you're sitting behind it, you're kind of trapped. People have to get up if you need to get up. And so it's like we just need to push the table out further.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy peasy.
No, that's good. That's why it works, because you're always there. That's why those places work, because you're always there. Scot Craig, always a pleasure, brother.
Yep, I'm walking in right now. So you want to come out and see us? I'm up.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're right, Scott.
Appreciate
See you next week. That's
You
Scot
need
Craig.
to get over here.
I know. I'm overdue.
All right, man.
You're at
See you
Katie's
later.
right now?
Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, you're right. Scot Craig's at
All right,
Katie's in Mid-City. Francesca Deli in Lakeview. Corey Johnson with you on a Fantasy Friday. There's Blue Boy barking up a storm. Scot Craig's right. I know a lot of you out there. I mean, it was like me. Where am I going to dinner tonight? Where are we going, honey? What do you want to do for dinner? Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Francesca Deli, seafood night over there on Harrison in between Canal Boulevard and West End. That's Blue Boy saying, have a great weekend. See you Monday, New Orleans, right here, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
Down, Blue.